You finished the last season in the third position. How different have you planned this season? Are you expecting a better result from the last season?
Yeah, well, hopefully to win it. That's the ultimate. I think year by year, the Delhi sides have sort of slightly improved. So I think for us this year is going to be to definitely make it that final game. I think going on, setting a simple goal from last year, going one better, and hopefully getting into the final, and then hopefully then going on to win it. But I have to admit, we really haven't spoken too much about that. All we've worried about is this first game coming up. We've had a really good lead in, good training block coming into this, especially for guys who haven't trained much because of the COVID restrictions. So everyone's trained really hard. Really looking forward to this challenge ahead, and as I said, if everything goes to plan and everyone plays and execute what they have to do, then the result will take care of itself.
Now, Ryan, you've been with the side for a while. Delhi Capital boasts of the maximum number of India internationals in its top 11. Having that kind of experience, would you say that's an advantage, because you also have a team packed with a lot of youngsters?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing I've learned in this game of T20 is experience is crucial, and to have so much experience with those Indian players that have played at the top level, it can only help when there's moments in big games that it helps to have experienced players out there and experiences that they've probably had before in games of cricket, especially T20 cricket. So that's one factor. The second factor is we've got some young guys, some really good young guys in this squad, and what I have noticed, I actually haven't thought about that number, but what I have noticed that the experience is showing, and the guidance to our young players that these guys are giving. So that's the biggest probably point, that all these up and coming guys are getting taught and directed by some very good Indian players. So that's definitely helping.
Now you have Shikhar Dhawan on the top. Would you prefer to give the fans the glimpses of Prithvi Shaw's flair, or have a settled Ajinkya Rahane open with Shikhar Dhawan?
Yeah, look, I think that's going to be an ongoing decision. I really like Prithvi's flair. He takes the game on, and we've seen what he can do and take the game away from the opposition in the first 6 overs, especially the power play. But again, we've got, Jinxie is another one of those experienced guys that I've just spoken about. I think the conditions will dictate who we play, and obviously matchups with opposition bowlers. But I think the best thing about that is we've got a great or good depth of player, of all kinds of players. So Prithvi, it goes hard. Jinxie can still play all the shots, but can hang around a bit longer. Shikhar's at the other end, who can do both as well. So we've got a really good depth of players that can do the role that we need in the conditions and against the matchups that we have against us. So who it is, we don't know yet. We're trying to work that out as we speak. But again, whoever it's going to be, we know that they can do a really good job for the team.
Now, you are the bowling coach of the side, and we'll have to talk about your bowling department, which looks quite versatile. Will our Ashwin be leading the pack of bowlers?
Yeah, he's definitely up there. A guy that has so many tricks. In fact, he had so many tricks. He's got even more now, which is phenomenal to think that he's gone away. And he said to me the other day, while he's been at home and during the COVID situation, he's been flicking the ball different ways, and he's actually got a bit of a sore hand because he's been doing something differently, which is amazing because he has so many tricks anyway. So he's definitely going to be a huge factor. I think, again, talking about the batters just a minute ago, the bowlers are the same. We've got so many good bowlers that can do a job, and they're different. Everyone's different. We've got KG Rabada, who is fast and he's great at the top, great at the death. We've got Nortje, who's probably a little bit similar to him, but to Anrik Nortje, who can still bowl fast. He has some really good variations, and then obviously Ishant, who had such a great season last year, has gotten even better again with his, again, a bit like Ashwin, who has worked on different balls to bowl. Different executions, or where to execute, different, Yorkers, all that sort of stuff. And then we've got, you know, Harshal Patel, all these sort of guys that have been around for a while, are so good at what they're doing. So we've got a really good stock and depth of fast bowlers that, again, you know, if hopefully we don't, but if we get injuries, we've got guys that can back up. Or if matchups say that we need someone else, you know, we've got all that. So Avesh Khan, Tushar Deshpande as well, who's obviously new into the IPL, but has definitely got the ingredients there to play if he's needed and called upon. So we've got one thing I did look at straight away when I got asked to do this job on short notice. I looked into the squad and straight away I thought, wow, this is a great squad. So lots of depth with the ball and again and spinners obviously. We've got plenty of guys there that can do the job.
And that really sounds like a happy headache that you guys have. But one of the weaknesses while I was going through your squad looks like a lack of quality all-rounder. Do you think that R. Ashwin is going to fill that spot of a quality all-rounder?
Well, Ash probably, yeah. Look, without giving too much away about team balance, Stoinis fits that as well. Maybe we've got the option of maybe, you know, batting him really anywhere in the order, but he does bowl. I think the important thing is to, if you can, for team balance, to have 6 bowlers playing in a T20 game gives the captain options, obviously to suit conditions as well. But we should have that in most combinations that we come up with. Harshal Patel's the other one who can definitely do that. Just trying to think off the top of my head. There's guys there that can do Ashwin. You know, there's again, we've got the depth to be able to do that, which is such an exciting thing to have coming into such a huge tournament. So again, we're trying to work out those exact combinations now and where we go. We're deciding that coming. You know, we're only 2 days out, so we're talking lots about that. So we'll come up with the best one, and like everyone, we'll see on the day what we come up with.
Ryan, what's life like in a bio bubble? Well, Shikhar Dhawan in an interview called it like being in a big boss house. What do you feel about it?
Yeah, I don't watch that one, but oh look, it's been a challenge. I have to admit, it's one of the things is, you know, going out to training is a big relief because we're able to get out the hotel. It's the only time we can really get out, other than to go to the pool. But we can't go out and go to the mall. We're across the water from one of the best malls in the world that the guys are hanging to go and see, but they can't do it. So, wow. You know, I don't mind playing a bit of golf in the times there, all that sort of stuff. So it's been a challenge, but I think, again, just noticing some of the senior players helping out in that respect, in involving all the young players. They get out, they obviously spend a bit of time in each other's room. We've got a table, I'm not involved because I'm hopeless, but a little table tennis tournament going on. I think the captain Shreyas is claiming the #1 spot there at the moment. We've got PlayStation set up, so we've got stuff that's that can take their minds off things. They're not just sitting in their rooms. But again, it's just that factor of not being able to live a normal life, which we're seeing around the world. And don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about that because there's a lot of people worse off than what we are at the moment. But it is for these guys, it's a big challenge. It's something different, and so look, I think Delhi, the people in charge, all the people looking after the team have done such a great job in getting some things to do for them to try and keep them motivated. But again, it's sort of, for me, I mean, just witnessing it, it's probably made training even more, even better. You know, it's a good time to get. It is the only time they can get out, so they go to training. They're pumped up. They're ready to go. As I said before, they haven't been doing much coming over here. Before coming over here, they know they've got a big tournament starting in a few days. So the 3 weeks have been, training-wise, has been outstanding. So, yeah, look, they're coping because they have to. And as I said, there's a lot worse people off, I guess, in the world than us at the moment. So we're doing okay.
Right. And the first game you face will be against a young captain. 2 young captains, in fact, are going to match up against each other, KL Rahul and Shreyas Iyer. Would you say that this is going to be an addition for future Indian captaincy?
Yeah, I was actually at Kings 11 last year, so it's a bit of a funny feeling going up against them. Obviously, I want to try and get the wood over them early and try and get a win up for the Delhi Capitals, and you know it's going to be good fun. Two young Indian captains, or 2 Indian players who are captaining their sides, 2 very good players. Look, it's always a challenge. I think one thing that I think, you know, we're going to see this year is every game we play is going to be a huge contest. It's going to be, you know, the players. Some have played, obviously. Some of the English players, some of the Caribbean players, Aussie players have played. but there's a lot that haven't, and I know that they're bursting at the seams to get out onto the ground. So it's going to be really, really competitive. And to start with a game against Kings are always a good opposition. I know they haven't had a lot of success in the last couple of years, so they'd be really keen to get the season started really well and get the momentum up, and hopefully going into a final series as well, a playoff series. So, yeah, as usual, as I said, it's always a big game. It's going to be a big game, and no exception coming up against a KL, a new captain, first year led Kings 11.
Rhino, we are excited to see that clash going. Thank you very, very much for joining us on the broadcast this evening.